When Maya Carter appeared at Evan Ross's doorstep that rainy evening, she wasn't alone. Two 4-year-old twins stood beside her, their eyes holding secrets that would shatter everything he thought he knew about his past. 5 years earlier, Evan had spoken the cruelest words a man could say to the woman he claimed to love. "I'm not having kids with you, not with anyone, but especially not with you." Now, as he stared into the innocent faces of Nora and Nia, the devastating truth hit him like a freight train. These weren't just any children. They were his daughters. The same daughters he'd unknowingly rejected before they were even born, when fear and his father's abandonment had turned him into the very man he'd sworn never to become. But Maya hadn't come for his money or his apologies. She'd come because those little girls deserved to know their father, even if that father had once broken their mother's heart into 1,000 pieces. What Evan didn't know was that this was only the beginning of a journey that would test everything he believed about love, family, and second chances. If you're watching this incredible story unfold, hit subscribe and tell me what city you're watching from. I love connecting with viewers from around the world. The rain tapped against Evan's kitchen window like tiny fingers asking to come in. He sat at his drafting table, pencil moving across the blueprint of a small house. The kind of house where families lived. The kind of house he designed for other people, but never thought about for himself. His phone buzzed with a text from his business partner, Mark. "Client wants to see the Morrison house plans Monday." "You good?" Evan typed back, ready to go. The doorbell rang at exactly 5:42 p.m. Evan looked up from his work. He wasn't expecting anyone. He set down his pencil and walked to the front door, his socked feet quiet on the hardwood floor. Through the glass, he could see 3 figures, one tall, 2 small, all wearing bright yellow raincoats that caught the porch light. He opened the door. Maya stood there, her dark eyes looking right at him, the same eyes that used to smile when he brought her coffee, the same eyes that had filled with tears the last time he saw her, 5 years ago. But now she wasn't alone. 2 little girls stood beside her, each holding one of her hands. They had Maya's warm brown skin and her heart-shaped face, but their eyes were lighter, like his. "Hi, Evan," Maya said. Her voice was steady, but he could hear something underneath it, something careful. Evan's mouth opened, but no words came out. His chest felt tight. "These are Nora and Nia," Maya continued, looking down at the girls with a gentle smile. "Girls, this is Evan." The memory hit him like cold water. 5 years ago, their apartment. The fight about the future, about marriage, about children, and the words that came out of his mouth like poison. "I'm not having kids with you, Maya. Not with anyone, but especially not with you." He remembered the way her face changed, how she went very still, how she packed her things the next morning while he pretended to sleep. "Hi," whispered one of the twins. She was looking at the small house models scattered on his side table. "Do kids live there?" asked the other twin, pointing at a white dollhouse-sized model. Evan finally found his voice. "Would you like to come in? It's cold out there." Maya hesitated. "Just for a few minutes." They stepped inside, the girls' sneakers squeaking on the floor. Maya helped them take off their yellow raincoats, revealing matching purple sweaters. The twins stayed close to their mother, but their eyes wandered around the room with curiosity. "Water," Evan offered, his hands shaking a little. "That would be nice," Maya said. In the kitchen, Evan filled 3 glasses with water and found a juice box in the back of his fridge, left over from when his nephew visited last month. The twins sat at his small table, their legs swinging. Maya declined his offer of coffee. "Can we sit where the girls can see your model?" They moved to the living room. The twins immediately went to the coffee table where a detailed model house sat. It had tiny furniture and little people inside. "I need to talk to you about something," Maya said. She sat on the edge of the couch, her back straight. Evan sat across from her. The twins were whispering to each other, pointing at the tiny bedrooms in the model. "I'm not here for money," Maya said quickly. "I want you to know that first. I have a job. We're okay." "Then why?" "The girls need emergency contact forms for preschool. They ask for both parents." Maya's hands were folded in her lap. "And I think they should know who their father is." "Father." The word sat between them like something heavy. "I tried calling you," Maya continued. "When I found out I was pregnant, I tried calling for months." Evan's stomach dropped. "I blocked your number." "I know. The night we fought, after you left, I was angry and hurt and stupid, and I blocked you." He looked at the twins, who were now carefully touching the tiny model furniture. Maya, I'm sorry. One of the twins, Nora, he thought, looked up at him. Are you sad? A little, he admitted. Mum gets sad sometimes too, she said matter-of-factly, then went back to the model. Maya pulled out her phone. I want to show you something. She scrolled through her email drafts. Evan could see timestamps going back years, messages that were never sent. March 15th, she read softly. Due date is October 20th. The doctor says they're both healthy. Another draft. June 2nd. I picked out names. Nora and Nia. I thought you might want to know. Another. August 10th. I felt them kick today. They're strong. Evan's throat felt tight. Why didn't you send them? Because you made it clear you didn't want kids with me. Maya's voice stayed calm, but he could see the old hurt in her eyes. When someone blocks your number, you get the message pretty clearly. The twins had found his box of colored pencils and were drawing on the backs of old blueprints. Nia was drawing what looked like a rainbow. Nora was drawing stick figures. That night, Evan said quietly, what I said to you, it was the worst thing I've ever done. Maya nodded but didn't answer. I was scared, he continued, terrified actually. But that's no excuse for hurting you like that. Fear doesn't give you the right to be cruel, Maya said. You're right. You're absolutely right. They sat in silence for a moment. The twins' pencils made soft scratching sounds on the paper. What happens now? Evan asked. Maya looked at her daughters. I don't know yet, but I think we can figure out something that works for everyone. Mum, Nia called, holding up her rainbow drawing. Can I give this to him? Maya looked at Evan, a question in her eyes. I'd love to have it, Evan said to Nia. Thank you. Nia beamed and handed him the paper. Her small fingers brushed his for just a second. We should go, Maya said, standing up. It's almost dinner time. Can I? Evan started, then stopped. Can I walk you to your car? Maya considered this. Okay. Outside, the rain had stopped, but the air was cool and damp. Maya helped the twins into their car seats, while Evan stood on the sidewalk, hands in his pockets. I have an idea, Maya said when both girls were buckled in. If you want to get to know them, we could try something small, safe. What do you mean? Saturday mornings at the playground. By the bay. 1 hour. No pressure. She closed the car door and faced him. We can try it once and see how it goes. I'd like that. Good. She got into the driver's seat. 9:30 Saturday morning. The playground with the blue slides. I'll be there. And Evan? She looked up at him through the window. If you're going to be in their lives, you need to stay. You can't just disappear when things get hard. I understand. Do you? Because these aren't just kids, Evan. They're my kids. My whole world. And if you hurt them... She didn't finish the sentence, but she didn't need to. I won't disappear, he said. Maya started the engine. Through the back window, he could see Nia still clutching the blueprint tube he'd given her. Nora was already falling asleep against her car seat. As their red Honda drove away, Evan stood in his driveway until the taillights disappeared around the corner. Then he walked back inside to his quiet house and the rainbow drawing that Nia had left on his coffee table. He picked up the drawing and put it on his refrigerator with a magnet. Saturday morning felt very far away. Saturday morning came faster than Evan expected. He arrived at the playground at 9:25, 5 minutes early. He'd brought water bottles with labels that said Nora and Nia in his careful architect's handwriting. The playground sat on a small hill overlooking the bay. The morning was clear and bright, with seagulls calling overhead. A few other parents were there with their children, but Evan spotted Maya right away. She sat on a bench near the swings, wearing jeans and a soft blue sweater. The twins were already playing on the monkey bars, calling encouragement to each other. Good morning, Evan said as he approached. Morning, Maya replied. She looked nervous but not unfriendly. I brought water, he said, holding up the bottles. Maya smiled a little. That was thoughtful. Nora ran over first, her sneakers slapping against the rubber playground surface. Hi, are you going to swing with us? If you want me to, Evan said. Yes, Nia called from the top of the slide. Push us really high. For the next hour, Evan learned things about his daughters he'd never known. Nora liked to count how many times she went down the slide. Nia always asked for one more push on the swings. They both loved dinosaurs and could name more types than he could. A Brachiosaurus has a really long neck, Nora explained seriously as she hung upside down from the monkey bars. And a T-Rex has tiny arms but big teeth, Nia added. making clawing motions with her hands. Evan found himself laughing, really laughing, in a way he hadn't in years. "They're smart," he said to Maya during a quiet moment while the twins played on the seesaw. "Very smart," Maya agreed. "And they ask a million questions. What's their favorite color?" "Purple." Both of them. They decided they wanted to match when they turned 3. "What about food?" "Pasta with butter. Apples, but only if they're cut up. And they both have a thing for goldfish crackers." Evan listened carefully, filing away each piece of information. "Naya has an inhaler," Maya continued, "for her asthma. She doesn't need it often, but I always keep it in this little pouch." She showed him a small purple bag in her purse. "Is she okay?" "She's fine. The doctor says most kids grow out of it. But when she runs a lot or gets really excited, sometimes she needs a puff." "What else should I know?" Maya studied his face. "Why are you asking all this?" "Because I want to learn. I want to know them." After the playground, they sat at a picnic table near the parking lot. Maya had packed apple slices and crackers. The twins ate while their legs swung under the table. "I was thinking," Evan said carefully, "maybe I could get car seats. For my car, if that would be helpful." Maya paused with a cracker halfway to her mouth. That's a big step." "I know. But if we're going to do this, I want to do it right." "Let me think about it," Maya said. "And if you do get them, check with me first. About the brands and installation. Safety is really important." "Of course. And no surprises," Maya continued. "If you want to change something or add something, we talk about it first." Agreed. They set their next meeting for Tuesday at 4 p.m. at Maya's apartment complex. The twins could show him their courtyard, and he could see where they lived. "One more thing," Maya said as they prepared to leave. "Text me when you get home safe. Not because I'm worried about you, but because the girls will ask if you made it home okay." "They will?" Kids worry about the people they care about, even people they just met. As Evan drove home, he thought about that. The twins cared about him. After one morning at the playground, they cared enough to worry. His phone buzzed with a text from Maya. "The girls want to know if you liked their dinosaur facts." He texted back, "Best dinosaur lesson I've ever had." A minute later, another text. "They're asking if you'll be at the playground again next Saturday. If that's okay with you. We'll see how Tuesday goes first." Fair enough. That night, Evan lay in bed thinking about small hands reaching for water bottles with their names on them. About the way Nora had carefully counted her trips down the slide. About the way Nia had looked at him when she asked for one more push on the swings. He thought about Maya, too. How she watched every interaction, ready to step in if needed. How she'd relaxed just a little bit as the hour went on. How she'd smiled when the twins made him laugh. It was just 1 hour, just one morning, but it felt like the beginning of something important, something he was determined not to mess up. Tuesday afternoon arrived grey and windy. Evan parked outside Maya's apartment complex at 3:58 p.m., 2 minutes early. The building was older but well kept, with a small courtyard in the center where kids could play. He spotted Maya's neighbor before he spotted Maya. A woman with short, natural hair was watering plants near the entrance. She looked up when he approached and gave him a measuring look. "You must be Evan," she said. "That's right. I'm Aisha. I live next door to Maya." Her tone was friendly but watchful. "The girls have been talking about you all week." Before Evan could respond, Nora and Nia came running across the courtyard. They'd been drawing with sidewalk chalk, and their hands were dusty with pink and blue. "Look what we made," Nia called, pointing to a colorful hopscotch course. "It's got numbers and everything," Nora added proudly. Maya appeared a moment later, carrying a small toolbox. "Hi, Evan. Perfect timing. Nora's scooter has a loose handle, and I've been meaning to fix it." "I can take a look," Evan offered. "You know how to fix scooters?" "I built a few tree houses as a kid. Picked up some basic skills." Maya handed him the toolbox with a small smile. "Have at it." Working together, they tightened the loose bolts on the scooter handle. It wasn't complicated, but it gave them something to focus on besides the careful dance they were doing around each other. "There," Evan said, testing the handle. "Good as new." "Thank you." Nora hugged his leg quickly, then ran off to test the scooter. Nia stayed closer, watching him put the tools back in the box. "Are you good at building stuff?" "That's my job," Evan explained. "I help people design their houses. Like the little houses at your place." "Exactly like that, but bigger. Big enough for kids, especially for kids." Maya was listening to this exchange, her expression unreadable. As the sun started to set, the twins began to tire. Nora yawned while pushing her scooter in slow circles. Naya sat down on the courtyard steps and rubbed her eyes. "Time to head in," Maya said gently. "Will you be there Thursday?" Nora asked Evan suddenly. "Thursday? Open house at school," Maya explained, "for parents to meet the teachers." Evan looked at Maya. "If your mum says yes. Let's see how tonight goes first," Maya said carefully. "What happens tonight?" Nia asked. "Dinner, bath time, stories." Maya ruffled Naya's hair. "The usual. Can Evan help with stories?" Nora asked. Maya's eyes widened slightly. We'll see, sweetie." They walked to the building entrance together. Aisha had finished watering her plants but was still nearby, pretending to organize her gardening supplies while keeping an ear on their conversation. "Thank you for fixing the scooter," Maya said to Evan. "Thanks for letting me help." The twins hugged his legs again, one on each side. For a moment, Evan felt completely surrounded by small arms and the smell of sidewalk chalk and shampoo. "See you soon," Nia said matter-of-factly. "I hope so," Evan replied. After they disappeared into the building, Aisha approached him. "Maya's a good mom," she said without introduction. "I can see that. Those girls are her whole world. You hurt them. You'll have to go through me too." Evan met her eyes. "I won't hurt them. Lots of men say that." "I mean it." Aisha studied him for a long moment. "We'll see." That evening, Evan got a text from Maya. "Girls want to know if you made it home safe. Safe and sound. Thank them for me. They also want to know if you'll help with stories sometime." Evan stared at that message for a long time before responding. "If you're comfortable with that, one step at a time." "One step at a time," he agreed. But as he sat in his quiet house that night, Evan found himself thinking about bedtime stories and small voices asking if he was good at building things. He thought about Maya watching him fix a scooter handle and how natural it had felt to work beside her again. He thought about Thursday's open house and whether Maya would decide to let him come. Most of all, he thought about two little girls who were starting to trust him and how desperately he didn't want to let them down. The next morning, Maya texted him, "Open house Thursday 5:30. If you want to come, meet us in the parking lot at 5:25. Evan texted back immediately, "I'll be there. The girls will be excited. So am I." And he was, nervous and excited and terrified all at the same time, but mostly grateful that Maya was giving him a chance to show up, to prove that this time he meant what he said. This time he wasn't going anywhere. Thursday evening came with the first real chill of autumn. Evan arrived at the preschool parking lot at exactly 5:25 p.m., carrying a small tote bag filled with labeled wet wipes, the kind his sister had told him were essential for anything involving 4-year-olds. Maya's red Honda pulled up 2 minutes later. Through the windshield, he could see the twins bouncing in their car seats, excited for their first school open house. "Hi, Evan," Nora called as Maya helped her out of the car. "We made paintings today," Naya announced, holding up a paper covered in handprints and glitter. "I can't wait to see them," Evan said, and he meant it. Maya looked nervous but determined. She dressed carefully, a soft yellow dress that brought out the warmth in her dark skin and small gold earrings that caught the parking lot lights. "You ready for this?" she asked him quietly. "Are you?" "No," she admitted with a small laugh. "But we're doing it anyway." Miss Delgado, the twins' teacher, greeted families at the classroom door. She was a short woman with kind eyes and paint stains on her cardigan. "Maya, girls, how wonderful to see you." Her gaze moved to Evan with polite curiosity. "This is Evan," Maya said simply. "Nice to meet you," Miss Delgado said, extending her hand. Inside the classroom, the walls were covered with children's artwork and alphabet charts. Small tables were set up with the twins' work from the past few weeks, finger paintings, clay sculptures, and books they'd made about their families. Nora grabbed Evan's hand and pulled him toward a display board. "Look, that's my dinosaur." Her painting showed a green creature with an impossibly long neck and a big smile. Next to it was Nia's artwork, a house with 4 stick figures standing in front of it. "Who are the people in your picture?" Evan asked Nia. She pointed to each figure. "That's me. That's Nora. That's Mum." She paused at the 4th figure. "That's our dad." The words hit Evan like a gentle punch to the chest. "Our dad," said so casually, so matter-of-factly. Maya appeared beside them, her eyes soft. "They've been talking about you a lot this week. All good things, I hope." Mostly, she smiled, though Nora did tell Miss Delgado that you're very tall and you don't know much about dinosaurs yet. Yet, Evan repeated. I like that she thinks I can learn. They moved through the classroom together, looking at reading corners and play areas. Other parents smiled and made small talk. A few asked questions about Evan that Maya answered easily, naturally. This is their dad, she would say. He's just getting to know the school. Each time she said it, Evan felt something settle in his chest. Not ownership, he knew he hadn't earned that yet, but acceptance, recognition. Near the end of the evening, they gathered around a small table where the twins were showing him their favorite books. This one is about a rabbit who loses her mom, Nora explained, holding up a worn picture book. But she finds her way home, Nia added quickly. She always finds her way home. As they prepared to leave, Miss Delgado approached with a clipboard. I'll need to update our emergency contact forms, she said to Maya. If Evan will be available for pickup or emergencies. Maya looked at Evan. Do you want to be on the forms? Only if you're comfortable with that. I think it's a good idea, Maya said quietly. For backup, and if the girls need something. Evan filled out the forms with careful handwriting, his name next to Maya's, his phone number below hers. See you at pickup windows, Miss Delgado said as they walked toward the parking lot. Pickup windows? Evan asked. Friday afternoon, Maya explained. Parents take turns picking up kids. I usually do it, but... She hesitated. I could try, Evan offered, if you want. Maya looked at the twins, who were skipping ahead toward the cars. Just the pickup. Straight to the park for a few minutes, then home by 3:45. Text me when you get them, and text me when you drop them off. I can do that. And call if anything happens. Anything at all. I will. That night, Evan lay awake thinking about seeing his name on an official school form, about Naya's drawing of 4 stick figures in front of a house, about the way Nora had grabbed his hand so naturally. Friday afternoon, he arrived at the preschool pickup area 15 minutes early. He'd Googled preschool pickup etiquette that morning and learned about sign-in sheets and car seat safety checks. When Miss Delgado called Nora and Nia Ross, his heart jumped. Ross. They had his last name. Maya had given them his last name. Hi, Evan, the twins called, running toward his car. He helped them into their car seats. Maya had shown him the right way to adjust the straps and took a photo of them grinning in the back seat. He texted it to Maya with the message, "Pickup successful, heading to park." At the small park near Maya's apartment, they played for exactly 20 minutes. Nora timed it on the playground clock, counting down the minutes until they had to leave. Time to go home, Evan announced at 3:25. Just 5 more minutes, Nia pleaded. Your mom is expecting you at 3:45, Evan said gently. I promised her. Okay, Nora said with a sigh. Promises are important. Very important, Evan agreed. He delivered them to Maya's door at 3:42 p.m., 3 minutes early. How did it go? Maya asked, hugging each twin as they tumbled through the door. Good, Evan said. They were perfect. We played on the swings, Nia reported, and Evan kept his promise about the time, Nora added approvingly. Maya met his eyes over the twins' heads. Thank you for being early. Thank you for trusting me. That weekend, there was a neighborhood barbecue at Mr. Patel's house 3 blocks over. Maya mentioned it casually during their Tuesday playground visit. You could come, she said, if you want. It's nothing fancy, just neighbors and food. Would that be weird? Me being there? Maybe a little, Maya admitted. But the girls would like it. And I think I would too. Saturday afternoon, Evan showed up at Mr. Patel's backyard carrying a large bowl of pasta salad that he'd attempted to make from a recipe online. It wasn't perfect, but it was edible. You cook? Maya asked, looking surprised. I'm learning, Evan said. YouTube is a good teacher. The backyard was full of families with children. The twins immediately found other kids to play with, but they kept running back to where Evan and Maya sat at a picnic table. Watch me go down the slide, Nora called. Look, I can do monkey bars, Nia shouted. Evan watched and cheered, and found himself relaxing in a way he hadn't expected. Maya chatted with Aisha and other neighbors, but she included him in conversations naturally. Evan's an architect, she told Mrs. Chen from down the street. He designs houses. Houses for families, Mrs. Chen asked. Especially for families, Evan confirmed. When Naya's shoelace came untied, she ran straight to Evan instead of Maya. He knelt on the grass and tied it carefully, double-knotted the way his sister had taught him. "There you go," he said. "Thank you," Nia said, then surprised him by giving him a quick hug before running back to the playground. Maya was watching from the picnic table, and when he met her eyes, she was smiling, really smiling, not the careful, polite smile she usually gave him. "You're good with them," she said when he sat back down. "They're good kids. They are. But you're patient with them. You listen when they talk. They're interesting people. Why wouldn't I listen?" Maya's smile got softer. A lot of adults don't think kids are interesting people. As the sun began to set, families started packing up. The twins were tired and grass-stained, leaning against Maya as she talked to Aisha about weekend plans. "We should head home," Maya said finally. "Can Evan walk with us?" Nora asked. "It's getting dark, sweetie." "Please?" Nia added. "Just to our door?" Maya looked at Evan. "If you don't mind the walk." The 3 blocks to Maya's apartment passed quietly. The twins walked between them, occasionally skipping or stopping to look at interesting rocks. It felt natural, normal, like something they'd done 100 times before. At Maya's door, the twins hugged him goodnight. "See you Tuesday?" Nora asked. "Tuesday," Evan confirmed. "Will you come to our next school thing?" Nia asked. "What school thing?" "They're having a fall festival next month," Maya explained. "Crafts and games for families. I'd love to come, if that's okay with you." "It's okay with me." After Maya and the twins went inside, Evan stood on the sidewalk for a moment, looking up at their lit apartment window. He could hear laughter and the sound of bath water running. For the first time in years, he thought about what it would be like to be part of something like that, to be part of a family. The next week passed in a pleasant routine. Evan picked up the twins on Wednesday and Friday. They played at the park, read books on Maya's porch, and slowly got to know each other. On Sunday morning, Evan made a decision. He drove to the car seat store and spent 2 hours learning about safety ratings and proper installation. He bought 2 identical seats, the same brand Maya used, and had them professionally installed in his sedan. Then he took a photo and texted it to Maya. "Car seats are in. Professional installation. Same brand as yours." Her response came an hour later. "You should have checked with me first." Evan's heart sank. He'd messed up. Again. He called her immediately. "I'm sorry," he said as soon as she answered. "I should have asked. I was excited and I wasn't thinking." "Evan," Maya's voice was tired. "We talked about this. No surprises. You're right. Completely right. What can I do to fix it?" There was a long pause. "Come over. We'll reinstall them together. Make sure they match my settings exactly. I'll be right there." An hour later, they stood in Maya's parking lot with both car seats, the instruction manuals, and Maya's measuring tape. The twins played nearby while Maya showed Evan the exact harness, height, and strap tension she used. "Safety isn't just about buying the right thing," Maya explained as they worked. "It's about consistency. If they're in your car, the seats need to work exactly the same way as they do in mine." "I understand." "Do you? Because this isn't just about car seats, Evan. This is about trust. When I say, check with me first, I mean it." They reinstalled the seats together, checking and double-checking every strap and angle. Maya wrote the harness height measurements on sticky notes and put them on Evan's dashboard. "There," she said finally. "Now they're right. Thank you for fixing my mistake. Just ask next time, please." "I will. I promise." When they finished, the twins clapped for the satisfying click of the safety buckles. "Can we ride in Evan's car now?" Nia asked. "Maybe next week," Maya said. "We'll see." That evening, Evan got a text from Maya. "The girls want to try a sleepover at your place. I told them we'd think about it. What would you need to feel comfortable with that?" "A trial run. Dinner and bedtime routine, but I stay until they're asleep." "When?" "Wednesday night, if you're ready." Evan stared at that message for a long time. A sleepover. At his house. With his daughters. "I'm ready," he texted back. Wednesday evening, Maya arrived with 2 small suitcases, a bag of stuffed animals, and detailed written instructions. "Nora needs water in the purple cup," she read from her list. "Nia needs the dinosaur night light, not the regular lamp. Both girls need exactly 2 bedtime stories, and they take turns picking." "Got it," Evan said, taking notes. "And they'll ask for 1 more story, 1 more song, and 1 more hug. The answer is always just 1 more, and then you stick to it." They ordered pizza for dinner, cut into triangles, the way the twins liked it. Maya watched as Evan helped them wash their hands and set up their plates. Bath time was an adventure. The twins splashed and giggled while Evan tried to wash hair without getting soap in anyone's eyes. Maya supervised from the doorway, offering advice and encouragement. "You're doing fine," she said when Nia got soap suds in her nose and started to cry. "It stings," Nia sniffled. "I know, sweetheart," Evan said gently, using a washcloth to rinse her face. "All better?" Nia nodded and went back to playing with her rubber duck. Bedtime was in Evan's guest room, which he'd prepared with twin beds and the dinosaur nightlight Maya had requested. The girls brushed their teeth at his bathroom sink, standing on step stools he'd bought specially for them. Story time was The Very Hungry Caterpillar, Nora's choice, and Goodnight Moon, Nia's choice. Evan read carefully, doing different voices for the characters the way Maya showed him. "One more story?" Nora asked when he finished. "Just one more," Evan said, "and read a short book about a sleepy bear." "One more song?" Nia asked. "Just one more," Evan attempted, a lullaby his mother used to sing to him. His voice was rusty, but the twins didn't seem to mind. "One more hug?" both twins asked at the same time. "Just one more," Evan said, hugging them each tightly. Then he sat in the chair by their door, listening to them whisper to each other in the dark. "I like it here," Nia said softly. "Me too," Nora agreed. "It smells like clean laundry, and the bed is soft. Do you think Mum is okay without us?" "She's with Evan. He'll take care of her too." Evan's throat tightened. He looked toward the living room, where Maya sat reading on his couch. By 9 to 15, both twins were asleep. Evan texted Maya. "They're out." She appeared in the doorway, looking at her sleeping daughters with soft eyes. "They look so little in those big beds," she whispered. "They're perfect," Evan whispered back. They moved to the living room, where Maya gathered her purse and jacket. "Thank you," Evan said, "for trusting me with this. You did good tonight, really good." "I had a good teacher," Maya smiled, but it was different from her usual careful smiles. Warmer, more real. "I should go. Early morning tomorrow. Drive safe. Call if they wake up. Call if you need anything at all." "I will." After Maya left, Evan sat in his living room listening to the quiet sounds of children sleeping in his house. Every few minutes, he checked on them, making sure they were comfortable and breathing easy. Around 11 o'clock, Nora called out from the bedroom. "Evan?" He hurried to their room. "What's wrong, sweetheart?" "I need water." He brought her the purple cup, filled with cool water. She drank it gratefully. "Thank you," she whispered. "You're welcome. Do you need anything else? Is Mom okay?" "She's safe at home." "Will you be here when we wake up?" "I'll be right in the kitchen, making breakfast." "Okay." Nora settled back into her pillow. "Good night, Evan." "Good night, Nora." He sat by their door until he was sure she was asleep again, then went to his own room. But sleep didn't come easily. He kept listening for sounds from the guest room, making sure they were okay. At 6:30 a.m., he woke to the sound of small feet padding across the hardwood floor. "Evan?" Nia's voice called from the kitchen. He found both twins sitting at his kitchen table in their pajamas, hair sticking up in all directions. "Good morning," he said. "How did you sleep?" "Good," Nia said, "but we're hungry. What would you like for breakfast?" "Pancakes," Nora said immediately. Evan looked in his refrigerator. He had eggs, milk, and a box of pancake mix he'd bought hopefully the week before. "Pancakes it is." While he cooked, the twins chatted about their dreams and asked questions about his coffee maker and why he had so many pencils on his counter. "Do you draw pictures with all those pencils?" Nia asked. "I draw houses," Evan explained. "Plans for houses so people know how to build them." "Can you draw us a house?" "What kind of house would you like?" "A purple one," Nora said immediately. "With a slide inside," Nia added. "And room for dinosaurs." Evan laughed. "I'll see what I can do." At 8 a.m. sharp, he drove them back to Maya's apartment. She met them at the door in her robe, hair still messy from sleep. "How did it go?" she asked, hugging each twin. "Great," Nora announced. "Evan made pancakes, and he sat by our door until we fell asleep," Nia added. Maya's eyes met Evan's over the twins' heads. "Thank you," she mouthed. "Thank you," he mouthed back. That afternoon, Evan got an unexpected visitor. His mother, Lena, was sitting on his front porch when he got home from work. "Mom," he said, surprised. "What are you doing here?" "I came to talk," Lena said. She was a small, neat woman with silver hair and worried eyes. "Can I come in?" They sat in his living room with coffee. Lena looked around at the changes in his house, the child-safe corners he'd installed, the small cups in his dish rack, the rainbow drawing still hanging on his refrigerator. "I heard you're seeing Maya again," she said carefully. "We're co-parenting," Evan corrected. "Learning to co-parent. And the children, they're really yours? They're really mine." Lena was quiet for a long moment. "Are you ready for this, Evan? Really ready? Because children need consistency. They need parents who show up." "I know. Do you?" "Because your father—" "I'm not Dad," Evan said firmly. "I won't be like Dad. You were so hurt when he left. I don't want you to hurt those little girls the same way." "I won't. But how do you know? How can you be sure?" Evan thought about Tuesday nights helping with homework, about Friday pickups and Saturday playground visits, about the way Nora asked for water in the purple cup, and how Nia worried about everyone making it home safe. "Because I love them," he said simply. "And when you love someone, you don't leave. Love isn't always enough." "Sweetheart." "No," Evan agreed. "But it's a start." Lena left with promises to call more often and maybe meet the twins soon. But Evan could see the worry in her eyes. That evening, Maya texted him. "Want to come for dinner tomorrow?" the girls asked. "I'd love to." "Good, because I'm making spaghetti, and they insist you need to learn the proper way to twirl it." "I'm a terrible spaghetti twirler." "They're excellent teachers." Thursday night at Maya's felt different from all their previous careful meetings. The twins helped him set the table and showed him their proper fork-twirling technique. Maya made garlic bread and a salad, and they ate together like a family. After dinner, while the twins colored at the table, Maya and Evan sat on her small porch with tea. "I need to tell you something," Evan said. "Okay. About why I said what I said 5 years ago. About not wanting kids." Maya was quiet, but she didn't ask him to stop. "My dad left when I was 7, Evan continued. Just disappeared one day. Left a note saying he wasn't ready to be a father. My mom worked 2 jobs to keep us afloat. I basically raised myself. I'm sorry. I was terrified I'd be like him. Terrified I'd have kids and then realize I wasn't cut out for it and leave them the way he left me." He looked at his hands. "When you started talking about marriage and kids, all I could think about was my mom crying in the kitchen after he left, about how lost I felt. I didn't want to do that to someone else. So, you ended it first." "So I ended it first, in the cruelest way possible." He met her eyes. "I hurt you to protect you from potentially getting hurt worse later, which is the stupidest logic in the world." Maya was quiet for a long time. "What changed?" she asked finally. "Meeting them, Nora and Nia, seeing that I could show up, that I wanted to show up." He paused, "and realizing that fear isn't a good enough reason to miss out on the best things in life." "Fear is powerful," Maya said softly. "So is love." They sat in comfortable silence, listening to the twins giggle inside about something one of them had drawn. "I'm not ready to forgive you yet," Maya said eventually, "but I'm getting there. That's all I can ask for. And I need you to know if you hurt them, if you disappear on them, I will never forgive you. Ever." "I understand." "Do you? Because they're starting to love you, Evan. Really love you. And if you break their hearts—" "I won't," he said firmly. "I swear to you, Maya, I will not leave them." The next evening was the school's fall festival. Families gathered in the decorated gymnasium for games, crafts, and a potluck dinner. Evan brought his attempted pasta salad again, which was getting better with practice. The twins wore matching orange dresses and insisted on holding both his and Maya's hands as they walked from station to station. "Family photo," called a volunteer with a camera near the crafts table. Before Evan could object or step aside, Nora and Nia pulled him into position next to Maya. The camera clicked, capturing the 4 of them smiling together. "We'll have prints ready next week," the volunteer said cheerfully. Later, during the costume parade, the twins had dressed as paleontologists. Evan found himself standing with other parents, cheering as children walked around the gym. "Those your girls?" asked the man next to him, nodding toward Nora and Nia. "Yes," Evan said without thinking. "They're mine." The words felt natural, true, right. After the festival, they walked to the parking lot together. The twins were tired but happy, carrying prizes from the ring toss game and art projects made from construction paper and glitter. "That was fun," Maya said as they reached their cars. "Really fun," Evan agreed. "Can we do it again next year?" Nora asked. "We'll see," Maya said automatically. But as they said goodnight, Evan caught Maya looking at him with something that might have been hope in her eyes. That night, he sat on his porch thinking about the word family and how it felt to be part of something bigger than himself. About the way Nia had grabbed his hand during the costume parade and how Nora had insisted he help her with the beanbag toss. He thought about Maya's careful trust and her slow smiles, about how natural it felt to stand beside her, parenting, together. He thought about next year and the year after that, and all the school festivals and bedtime stories and Saturday mornings that might lie ahead. For the first time since Maya had shown up at his door 6 weeks ago, Evan let himself imagine a real future. Not just co-parenting, but something more, something lasting, something that felt like home. The text message that changed everything came on a Friday evening while Evan was making dinner. He'd just put chicken nuggets in the oven for the twins' Saturday lunch when his phone buzzed. It was from Aisha, but the message was strange. "Check your group chat. Screenshot attached." Evan frowned. He didn't have a group chat with Aisha. Then he opened the screenshot. It was from a conversation between Aisha and her friends, people he'd never met. But there, in black and white, were his own words from 5 years ago. Words Maya must have shared with Aisha during their breakup. "I'm not having kids with you, Maya. Not with anyone, but especially not with you." Below that, someone had written, "Wait, isn't that the guy she's co-parenting with now? The one at the school festival?" And Aisha's response, "Yeah, same guy. She says he's changed." But Evan's stomach dropped. He stared at his phone, reading the words over and over. His cruelest moment, preserved forever in a group chat, being discussed by strangers. He was still staring at the screen when someone knocked on his door. It was Maya, holding both twins' hands. They were supposed to come over for dinner and a movie night. "Hi, Evan," Nia called, running toward him. "We brought popcorn," Nora announced, holding up a bag. But Maya's face was serious, guarded in a way it hadn't been for weeks. "Girls, go wash your hands in the bathroom," Maya said gently. "I need to talk to Evan for a minute." They disappeared down the hall, chattering about the movie they wanted to watch. "You saw it," Maya said. "It wasn't a question. Aisha sent it to me. She shouldn't have done that. I told her not to." "It's okay," Evan said quickly. "I mean, it's not okay that I said those things, but I'm glad I know people are talking about it." Maya looked tired. "They're not trying to hurt you. They're trying to protect me." "I understand. Do you? Because this is what it's like, Evan. When you hurt someone the way you hurt me, people remember. They watch. They wait for you to mess up again." Before Evan could respond, they heard a car door slam outside. Through the window, he could see his mother getting out of her sedan. "I thought you might be here," Lena said as she approached the porch. "I wanted to meet Maya properly." Maya straightened, switching into polite mode. "Mrs. Ross, it's nice to see you again. Please, call me Lena." But her smile was tight. "Are the girls here?" "In the bathroom," Maya said. As if summoned, Nora and Nia came running back into the living room, stopping short when they saw Lena. "Girls," Maya said gently. "This is Lena, Evan's mom." "Are you our grandma?" Nia asked directly. Lena looked startled. Well, I suppose I am." "We don't have grandmas," Nora explained matter-of-factly. "Just Mom, and now Evan. And Aisha," Nia added. "She's like family." Lena's expression softened slightly. "Well, now you have a grandma too." The twins accepted this information with the easy adaptability of 4-year-olds and went back to setting up their movie snacks. But Evan could feel the tension between the 3 adults. Maya kept glancing toward the door like she was planning her escape. Lena watched everything with careful eyes. "I should start dinner," Evan said. "Mom, are you staying?" "Just for a few minutes." In the kitchen, Lena spoke quietly, while Maya helped the twins choose a movie. "She seems nice," Lena said. "She is nice. And the children are lovely." "They are. But Evan," Lena paused, "are you sure about this? Really sure? Because once you're all the way in, there's no backing out. Not without destroying those little girls." "I'm not backing out. But what if it gets hard? What if you and Maya can't make it work? Those children will be the ones who suffer." Evan looked through the doorway at Nora and Nia, who were debating the merits of different animated movies with serious 4-year-old logic. "Then we'll figure it out," he said. "Adults figure it out. Your father thought he could figure it out too." The words hit like a slap. "I'm not him." "I know you think you're not. But love doesn't protect children from getting hurt, sweetheart. Good intentions don't either. Dinner was awkward. Lena asked polite questions about the twins' school and interests. Maya answered carefully, clearly feeling judged. The twins chattered happily, unaware of the adult tension. "What's your favorite color?" Lena asked Nia. "Purple. And dinosaurs." "Dinosaurs aren't a color," Nora corrected gently. "They are if you want them to be," Nia replied with 4-year-old logic. Lena smiled despite herself. "I like that answer." After dinner, while the twins watched their movie on the couch, the adults stood in the kitchen. Evan was loading the dishwasher when he heard Lena speak quietly to Maya. "Can I ask you something?" "Sure," Maya said, but her voice was cautious. "What happens if this doesn't work out? Between you and Evan? What happens to those girls then?" Maya was quiet for a long moment. "We make it work, but what if you can't? What if he decides this is too hard and walks away? Will you be able to protect them from that kind of disappointment?" Maya started, then stopped. "Because I've seen what abandonment does to children. I raised one of them. And if Evan hurts those girls the way his father hurt him—" "Mom," Evan said sharply, turning around. But Maya was already stepping back, her face pale. "I think we should go," she said quietly. "Maya." "Girls," she called, "time to head home." "But the movie isn't over," Nora protested. "We can finish it another time." "Can't we stay until it's done?" Nia pleaded. Maya looked at Evan, then at Lena. Her walls were back up, higher than they'd been in weeks. "We need to go," she said firmly. The twins gathered their things with disappointed faces. They hugged Lena goodbye and told her she was welcome to watch movies with them any time. "I hope I see you again soon," Lena said, and she seemed to mean it. But when they hugged Evan goodbye, Maya didn't meet his eyes. "I'll call you tomorrow," he said. "Okay," Maya replied, but her voice was distant. After they left, Evan turned to his mother. "What the hell was that? I was trying to protect those children. By planting doubt in Maya's head? By making her think I'm going to abandon them? Aren't you? When things get difficult? When the honeymoon phase wears off?" "No." Evan's voice was louder than he intended. "I'm not going to abandon them. I love them, Mom. I love Maya. I'm not going anywhere." "You say that now." "I say that because it's true. Because I've spent the last 2 months showing up every single day. Because I've changed diapers and read bedtime stories and learned to make pancakes shaped like dinosaurs. Because those girls call me Dad, and it feels like the most important job I've ever had." Lena was quiet, studying his face. "I'm sorry," she said finally. "I'm scared for them. For all of you. Then trust me. Trust that I know what I'm doing." "Do you? Really?" Evan thought about Maya's distant voice and the way she'd hurried to leave. "I hope so," he said. Saturday morning came without a text from Maya. Usually she sent a picture of the twins eating breakfast or a reminder about their weekend plans. By 10 a.m., Evan couldn't wait anymore. He called. "Hi," Maya said when she answered. Her voice was careful. "How are the girls?" "They're fine. Playing in their room. And how are you?" A long pause. "I'm okay." "No, you're not." "Maya, about last night." "I need some time to think," she interrupted. "About everything. About us. About whether we're doing the right thing. For them." Evan's chest felt tight. "What does that mean?" "It means I need the weekend to figure some things out." "Can I see them? Just for a few hours?" I think they need a break too, from all the adult drama." After she hung up, Evan sat in his quiet house staring at the kids' water cups in his dish rack, at the dinosaur books on his coffee table, at the family calendar on his refrigerator, marked with blue dots for his days with the twins. He tried to do normal Saturday things, grocery shopping, laundry, cleaning, but everything reminded him of the girls. The cereal aisle made him think of Nora carefully pouring milk. The playground they drove past made him think of Nia asking for one more push on the swings. By Sunday afternoon, he couldn't take it anymore. He drove to his mother's house and knocked on her door. "Evan," Lena said, opening the door. "I was hoping you'd come by." "I need to tell you some things," he said. They sat in her tidy kitchen with coffee and store-bought cookies, the same kind she used to put in his lunchbox when he was little. "I've been thinking about what you said," Evan began. "About Dad, about abandonment, about whether I'm ready for this." Lena listened without interrupting. "You're right that love isn't always enough. But you know what else isn't enough? Fear. Being so afraid of messing up that you don't try at all." He met her eyes. "That's what Dad did, wasn't it? He got scared and ran instead of figuring it out. He was young. I'm not making excuses for him anymore, Mum, and I'm not letting his mistakes dictate my choices. Evan's voice was steady but firm. I love those girls. I love Maya, and I'm going to fight for them, even if it's scary. What if you're not enough? What if you can't give them what they need? Then I'll learn. I'll get better. I'll ask for help. He smiled slightly. Maybe I'll ask my mum to teach me how to make Saturday morning pancakes. Lena was quiet for a long moment. You really love them, she said. More than I thought possible. And Maya? Maya she's everything I didn't know I was looking for 5 years ago. She's strong and smart and patient, and she makes me want to be a better man. Lena reached across the table and took his hand. Then you fight for them, she said. But you do it right. No grand gestures, no big speeches. You show up every single day until she believes you're not going anywhere. What if she doesn't give me the chance? Then you wait, and you keep showing up anyway. Monday morning, Evan drove to the twins' preschool. He wasn't supposed to pick them up, that wasn't until Wednesday, but he had to see them, had to make sure they were okay. He parked across the street and watched through the playground fence as they played during recess. Nora was on the monkey bars. Nia was pushing a toy car around a dirt track. They looked fine, happy, normal. But when Nora fell off the monkey bars and scraped her knee, she looked around the playground like she was searching for someone. For him, maybe. When she didn't see him, her face crumpled a little before Miss Delgado came to help. Evan's hands gripped the steering wheel. He wanted to run to her, to kiss her scraped knee and tell her everything would be okay. But he'd promised Maya he would respect her boundaries, so he sat in his car and watched his daughter cry, and it was the hardest thing he'd ever done. That afternoon, he got a text from Maya. Girls are asking about you. Can you come for dinner Wednesday? Just dinner. Yes, he texted back immediately. What time? 6. But Evan, we need to talk. After, they're asleep. Wednesday evening, Evan arrived at Maya's apartment with a bag of groceries and low expectations. The twins greeted him with their usual enthusiasm, but Maya was polite and distant. What did you bring? Nia asked, digging through the grocery bag. Stuff for tacos, Evan said. If that's okay with your mum. Tacos are our favorite, Nora announced. They say that about everything, Maya said, but she almost smiled. Dinner was easier than he'd expected. The twins chatted about school and friends and a butterfly they'd seen in the courtyard. Maya relaxed a little as they ate, laughing when Nia tried to fit an entire soft taco in her mouth at once. After dinner, bath time, and stories, the twins finally fell asleep. Maya and Evan sat on her small porch with tea, like they had so many times before. But this time felt different. Final, maybe. They missed you, Maya said quietly. I missed them too. Nora asked if you were mad at her, if that's why you didn't come this weekend. Evan's chest ached. What did you tell her? That grown-ups sometimes need time to figure things out. That it wasn't her fault. They sat in silence for a moment. Your mum called me, Maya said. Evan looked up, surprised. She did? Yesterday. She wanted to apologize for what she said Friday night. And she invited us for Saturday breakfast. All of us. Maya's voice was carefully neutral. She said she wants to get to know her granddaughters properly. What did you tell her? That I'd think about it. More silence. Aisha showed me more screenshots, Maya said, finally. From that group chat. Evan's stomach dropped. What did they say? They're worried about me. About the girls. They think I'm being naive. What do you think? Maya was quiet for a long time. I think I've been scared. Really scared. Because the girls love you now, Evan. Really love you. And if you disappear, I won't. You say that. And I want to believe it. But your mom was right about one thing. Good intentions aren't enough to protect children from getting hurt. So what are you saying? Maya turned to face him. I'm saying that if we're going to do this, really do this, I need to know you're all in. Not just for the fun parts. Not just for Saturday morning pancakes and playground visits. For everything. For sick days and bad moods and teenage years and college tuition and all of it. I am all in. Are you? Because when things get hard between us, and they will get hard, those girls will be watching. They'll see how we handle conflict, how we treat each other. They'll learn about relationships from watching us. Evan thought about that. About the responsibility of being a model for Nora and Nia. About the weight of showing them how love was supposed to work. I know it's scary, he said carefully. It's scary for me too. But Maya, I would rather try and risk messing up than not try at all. And if we break up, If we can't make it work, what happens to them then? Then we figure out how to co-parent respectfully. We show them that even when adults can't be together, they can still be kind to each other. They can still put the kids first. Maya considered this. I need you to promise me something, she said finally. Anything. If you ever decide this is too much, if you ever want out, you talk to me first. You don't just disappear. You don't abandon them without explanation. You help me help them understand. I promise. And I need you to be patient with me. I'm going to have bad days where I don't trust this, where I push you away because I'm scared. I can be patient. Maya reached into her pocket and pulled out a small key. Evan's house key, the one he'd given her weeks ago. I put this on my keychain yesterday, she said, holding it up. After your mum called. Why? Because I realized something. I've been so focused on protecting the girls from potentially getting hurt that I forgot to think about what I might be protecting them from. And what I might be protecting them from is a man who loves them, a father who shows up, a family. She handed him the key. I don't want to live in fear anymore, she said, for their sake or for mine. So what does that mean? It means we try, really try. It means Saturday breakfast at your mom's house and bedtime stories and scraped knees and all of it. Evan felt something tight in his chest finally loosen. And it means, Maya continued, that when you screw up, and you will screw up, I give you a chance to make it right. And when I get scared and push you away, and I will, you don't give up on us. Never, Evan said. Maya smiled, and it was her real smile, the one that reached her eyes. Okay then, she said. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Evan agreed. He wanted to kiss her, had wanted to kiss her for weeks now. But not yet. Not until they'd rebuilt the foundation properly. Instead, he reached out and took her hand. Her fingers were warm and familiar in his. Saturday breakfast at your mom's? Maya asked. Saturday breakfast at my mom's, Evan confirmed. The girls will be excited. So will I. That night, Evan drove home feeling lighter than he had in days. The house didn't feel as quiet anymore. The twins' cups in the dish rack looked hopeful instead of abandoned. He sat at his drafting table and drew the house Nora and Nia had requested weeks ago. Purple walls, a slide from the second floor, and plenty of room for dinosaurs. When he finished, he took a photo and texted it to Maya. For the girls, when they wake up tomorrow. Her response came a few minutes later. They're going to love it. Thank you. For what? For not giving up on us. Evan looked at the drawing at the family of stick figures he'd added to the front yard and smiled. Never, he texted back. Saturday morning came bright and crisp. Evan arrived at Maya's apartment at 8 a.m. to pick up all three of them for breakfast at Lena's. The twins were excited to see their grandmother again, chattering in the back seat about what they might have for breakfast and whether Lena had any pets. Does Grandma Lena have a dog? Nia asked. No pets, Evan said, but she has a really nice backyard where you can play. Can we show her our dinosaur facts? Nora wanted to know. I'm sure she'd love that. Maya was quiet during the drive, but not in the worried way she'd been earlier in the week. She seemed calm, resolved. Lena met them at her front door wearing an apron covered in flour. I'm making pancakes from scratch, she announced. I hope you're hungry. The twins were delighted. They helped measure ingredients and crack eggs while Lena told them stories about Evan as a little boy. He used to build houses out of couch cushions, she said as she flipped pancakes. All day long, he would stack pillows and blankets into different rooms. Just like the little houses at his apartment, Nia said. Exactly like that. Maya watched these interactions with soft eyes. When Nora spilled syrup on her shirt and Lena cleaned it up without fussing, Maya visibly relaxed. After breakfast, while the twins played in the backyard, the adults sat at the kitchen table with coffee. I owe you an apology, Lena said to Maya. What I said the other night was out of line. I was scared, but that's no excuse for making you feel unwelcome. You were protecting your son, Maya said. I understand that. Yes, but I forgot that you're protecting your daughters, and that we're on the same side here. Maya smiled. We are on the same side. I'd like to be part of their lives, Lena continued. If you're comfortable with that. I know I can't replace the grandmothers they never got to meet, but maybe I can be something good for them. I think they'd love that, Maya said. Through the window, they could see the twins showing Lena's garden gnomes their dinosaur impressions. They're good kids, Lena said. The best kids, Evan agreed. And you two. Are you going to be okay? Really okay? Maya looked at Evan. We're going to try. That's all anyone can do, Lena said. Try. and keep trying. As they prepared to leave, Lena pulled a paper bag from her pantry. "Muffins," she said, "for later. And Maya? Next Saturday, if you want. I could watch the girls while you and Evan have some adult time. Dinner out, maybe?" Maya looked surprised. That's really thoughtful. Thank you." In the car on the way home, Nia announced, "I like Grandma Lena." "Me too," Nora agreed. "She makes good pancakes, and she said we can help her plant flowers next spring," Nia added. "That sounds fun," Maya said. "Can we come back next Saturday?" Nora asked. "We'll see," Maya said, but she was smiling. That afternoon, while the twins napped in Maya's living room, she and Evan sat on her porch, planning the rest of their weekend. "So," Maya said, "your mom offered to babysit." "She did. Think she meant it?" "I think she meant it. When was the last time you and I went on a real date?" Evan thought about it. 5.5 years ago. "That's a long time." "Too long." Maya leaned back in her porch chair. "I'm scared," she admitted. "Of what?" "Of how much I want this. All of it. You, me, them. The whole messy, complicated family thing." "Why is that scary?" "Because wanting something that much means you have everything to lose." Evan reached for her hand. "It also means you have everything to gain." Maya squeezed his fingers. "When did you get so wise?" "When I almost lost the best thing that ever happened to me." This time, when he leaned toward her, she didn't pull away. Their first kiss in 5 years was soft and careful and full of hope. When they broke apart, Maya was smiling. "So," she said, "Dinner Saturday night." "Dinner Saturday night," Evan agreed. "Just you and me. Just us." "I can't remember how to date," Maya said with a laugh. "We'll figure it out." "Promise?" "Promise." Inside the house, they could hear the twins starting to wake up, their voices sleepy and content. "Mom," Nora called, "can we make cookies?" "In a minute, sweetheart," Maya called back. She looked at Evan. "Want to help us make cookies?" "Always," he said. And as they went inside together to join their daughters, Evan realized that this ordinary Saturday afternoon was everything he'd ever wanted without knowing it. This was home. Saturday night arrived with the kind of autumn air that made everything feel crisp and full of possibility. Evan stood in front of his bathroom mirror, trying to remember how to get ready for a real date. He'd chosen a blue button-down shirt that Maya used to say brought out his eyes, then changed to a sweater, then back to the shirt. Finally, he settled on dark jeans and a grey sweater that made him look like a responsible father, which, he realized, was exactly what he was. His phone buzzed with a text from Maya. "Running 5 minutes late. The twins are convinced Lena needs detailed instructions about bedtime stories." Evan smiled and texted back, "Take your time. I'm not going anywhere." It was a simple message, but it felt like a promise. 20 minutes later, Maya knocked on his door wearing a deep red dress that he'd never seen before. Her hair was down around her shoulders, and she'd put on lipstick that matched her dress. "Hi," she said, suddenly shy. "Hi yourself," he replied. "You look beautiful. I feel nervous. Is that weird? If it's weird, then we're both weird." They'd chosen a small Italian restaurant downtown, nothing fancy, just a place with checkered tablecloths and bread that came with real butter. The kind of place where they could talk without feeling like they were performing. "I keep thinking I should call and check on the girls," Maya said after they'd ordered. "My mom will text if she needs anything," Evan said. "She's probably spoiling them completely. They've never had a sleepover with a grandparent before. She's probably telling them embarrassing stories about me right now." Maya laughed. "I hope she has photos." Their conversation flowed easier than Evan had expected. They talked about work, Maya's job at the restaurant, Evan's latest house designs. They talked about the twins' preschool Halloween party next week and whether Lena would want to come. "She asked me about Christmas," Maya said as they shared a piece of tiramisu. "Whether we'd all want to spend it together." "What did you tell her?" "That I'd like that, if you want to." "I want to," Evan said immediately. "I want all of it. Christmas morning with them, stockings hung up, the whole thing. Even when they wake up at 5 a.m. to open presents. Especially then," Maya smiled. "You say that now. Wait until you're drinking coffee in the dark, wondering why 4-year-olds don't understand the concept of sleeping in." "I'm looking forward to finding out." After dinner, they walked through downtown, hand in hand. Most of the shops were closed, but the streetlights made everything look warm and golden. "I used to think about this," Maya said as they passed the bookstore where they used to browse together years ago. "Think about what?" "Us," Walking around like this again. I used to imagine what it would be like if you came back and everything was different. What did you imagine? Grand gestures, mostly. You showing up with flowers and speeches about how sorry you were. She squeezed his hand. This is better. Better than grand gestures. Better than fantasy. This is real. They ended up at the small park by the harbor, where they'd had their first date 6 years ago. The same bench was still there, looking out over the water. Remember when you brought me here and we talked until 2 a.m.? Maya asked as they sat down. You told me about wanting to open your own restaurant someday. You told me about the house you wanted to design for yourself, with big windows and a reading nook. I never built that house. Why not? Evan thought about it. It was a house for a family, and I didn't think I'd ever have one. Maya was quiet for a moment. What kind of house would you design now? Now? A house with a big kitchen where kids could do homework while dinner was cooking, a backyard with room for a swing set, maybe a reading nook after all, but big enough for bedtime stories. That sounds like a good house. It sounds like a house where you could be happy. Maya turned to face him on the bench. Are we really doing this, Evan? Are we really going to try to be a family? I want to. Do you? I'm terrified, she admitted. But yes, I want to try. What scares you the most? That we'll mess it up somehow. That we'll hurt the girls. We might mess some things up, Evan said honestly. We're human, but we'll fix whatever we break. Together. Promise? I promise. This time, when he kissed her, it felt like coming home. They drove back to Lena's house to pick up the twins, but when they got there, all the lights were off except for the porch light. Lena met them at the door in her robe. They're asleep, she whispered. Fell asleep watching a movie around 8:30. I hated to wake them. We can carry them to the car, Maya said. Or, Lena suggested carefully, they could stay the night. I have the guest room all set up. You could pick them up in the morning for church. Maya looked at Evan. That's really generous, but I'd love to have them, Lena said. And you two look like you could use some more time together. They peeked into the living room, where Nora and Nia were curled up on the couch under a blanket, still wearing the princess dresses Lena had apparently helped them find in her closet. They look so peaceful, Maya whispered. They had a wonderful time, Lena said quietly. We made cookies and painted pictures and built a fort in the backyard. They're delightful children, Maya. They really love you already, Maya replied. The feeling is entirely mutual. In the end, they decided to let the twins stay. Lena promised to call if anything happened, and Maya left detailed instructions about morning routines. Text me when they wake up, Maya said for the third time. I will, Lena promised. Now go home and enjoy your quiet house. Back at Maya's apartment, they sat on her couch with tea and listened to the unusual silence. It's so quiet, Maya said. Almost too quiet. Is this what dating with kids is like? Stolen moments between bedtimes and babysitters? I don't know, Evan admitted, but I'm willing to find out. Maya curled up against his side, her head on his shoulder. I miss this. Quiet? Us. Just us. Talking. We talk all the time. About pickup schedules and snack preferences and whether Nia needs her inhaler. When was the last time we talked about just us? Evan thought about it. Too long. I love them so much, Maya said softly, but sometimes I forget that I'm more than just their mum, that we could be more than just co-parents. We can be both. Can we? Really? We're sitting here right now, aren't we? Maya smiled and settled deeper into his arms. Yes, we are. They talked until late, about everything and nothing, about Maya's dreams of opening a catering business and Evan's plans to design more family-friendly homes, about places they wanted to travel with the twins and whether they'd want to give them a sibling someday. Siblings? Evan asked, surprised. Not now, Maya said quickly. But maybe. Eventually. If this works out. More kids? Maybe one more. The twins always ask about having a baby brother or sister. Evan tried to imagine it. A house full of children, chaos and laughter and love. I'd like that, he said. Someday. Really. Really. Sunday morning, they picked up the twins from Lena's house and went to church together. It was a small community church that Maya had been attending since she moved to town, and everyone knew Nora and Nia. Maya, called Mrs. Patterson from the front pew. Are these the girls' father I've been hearing about? This is Evan, Maya said with a smile. The twins sat between them during the service, sharing a hymnal and whispering questions about the stained glass windows. Nia fell asleep against Evan's arm during the sermon. and Nora drew pictures of angels on the bulletin. After church, they went to the diner for pancakes, a new Sunday tradition that felt like it had always existed. "Can we do this every week?" Nora asked, as she carefully cut her pancakes into perfect squares. "If you want to," Maya said. "I want to," Nia announced. "Church and pancakes and Grandma Lena." "Grandma Lena might not always be available," Maya said gently. "She said she wanted to come to church with us next week," Nora reported. "She said she hasn't been in a while and we could sit together." Evan and Maya exchanged glances over the twins' heads. Everything was moving so naturally, so easily. That afternoon, they went to the beach for what Evan privately thought of as the most important family outing of their lives. The twins brought buckets and shovels, and Evan taught them about building foundations, how to pack sand just right, how to dig foundations that would hold. "First, you have to clear the ground," he explained, showing them how to smooth the sand. "Then you dig down to where the sand is really solid." "Like this?" Nia asked, digging with intense concentration. "Perfect. Just like that." Nora worked on the walls while Nia focused on the foundation. Maya collected shells for decoration, but mostly she watched the three of them work together. "This is going to be the best sand castle ever," Nora declared as she patted down a wall. "It needs to be strong," Nia added seriously, "so it doesn't fall down." "Strong foundations make strong houses," Evan agreed. As the afternoon wore on, their sand castle grew into something impressive. 4 towers, a courtyard, and walls decorated with shells and seaweed. "What should we call it?" Maya asked as she helped Nia add windows. "Castle Ross," Nora suggested. "Or Castle Family," Nia countered. "I like Castle Family," Evan said. "Me too," Maya agreed. As the sun started to set, casting long shadows across the beach, Maya took out her phone. "Picture time," she announced. Everyone behind the castle. They arranged themselves with the sand castle in front, the ocean behind them. Evan lifted Nora onto his shoulders, while Maya held Nia's hand. "Say family," Maya called, setting the timer on her phone. "Family," they all called together. The camera clicked, capturing them laughing in the golden light. Later, as they packed up their things, Nia made an announcement. "This is our home," she said, patting the sand castle. "Our home is at the apartment, sweetheart," Maya corrected gently. "No," Nia said seriously. "This is our home, all of us together." She was right, Evan realized. Home wasn't a place. It was these people, this feeling, this sense of belonging to something bigger than himself. "You're right," he told Nia. "This is our home." As they walked back to the cars, Maya fell into step beside him. "I have something to tell you," she said quietly. "Oh? I've been thinking about that house you described, the one with the big kitchen and the reading nook. What about it?" "I want to see the plans." Evan stopped walking. "Seriously, seriously. I want to see what our house would look like." "Our house?" "Our house," Maya confirmed. If you want it to be our house. I want that more than anything, even if it means living with 2 4-year-olds who think dinosaurs belong in the bathroom, especially then." That night, after the twins were asleep in their own beds and Maya was doing the dishes, Evan sat at her kitchen table with his sketch pad. He drew quickly but carefully a house with big windows and an open kitchen, a reading nook by the fireplace, a backyard with room for swing sets and sandboxes and birthday parties, bedrooms for the twins with enough space for friends to sleep over, a master bedroom with its own bathroom and a window that looked out over the garden. "What are you working on?" Maya asked, drying her hands on a dish towel. "Our house," he said, turning the sketch toward her. Maya studied the drawing, her finger tracing the lines of rooms and windows. "It's beautiful," she said softly. "But can we afford something like this? We'll figure it out, together. Maybe we start with something smaller and add on as we go. Maybe I design it and we do some of the work ourselves." "You'd really want to build this? For us?" "Maya, I'd build you a castle if you wanted one." "I don't need a castle," she said, sitting down beside him. "I just need a home, a real home, for all of us." "Then that's what we'll build." Maya leaned over and kissed his cheek. "I love you," she said simply. It was the first time either of them had said it since she'd shown up at his door 3 months ago. The words settled between them like something precious. "I love you too," Evan replied. "All of you, this whole beautiful, chaotic family." 6 months later, Evan stood in the backyard of their new house. Not the dream house he'd sketched that night, but a cozy 3-bedroom cottage with good bones and endless potential. The twins were playing on the swing set he'd installed the week before, taking turns pushing each other and calling for him to watch their latest achievements. "Higher," Nia called. "Push me higher." "Hold on tight," Evan warned, giving her swing a gentle push. Maya appeared in the kitchen window, waving at him through the glass. She had flour in her hair and a smile on her face. She'd been experimenting with wedding cake recipes all afternoon. They were getting married in 3 weeks, in the backyard of this very house. Nothing fancy, just their friends and family, Lena's homemade flowers, and the twins as flower girls. "Evan," Nora called, "come see what we found." He walked over to where she was crouched by the garden bed they'd planted together last month. "Look," she said, pointing to a tiny green shoot pushing up through the soil. "Our sunflowers are growing." "So they are," Evan said, kneeling down beside her. "You two are excellent gardeners." "Will they be tall by the wedding?" Nia asked, abandoning her swing to join them. "Maybe not full-grown, but definitely bigger than they are now." "Good," Nora said with satisfaction. "Every wedding needs flowers." That evening, after the twins were asleep in their new bedrooms, purple walls, as requested, Evan and Maya sat on their back porch with tea and the wedding to-do list that seemed to grow longer every day. "Cake tasting tomorrow," Maya read from her list. "Final dress fitting Wednesday. Pick up marriage license Thursday." "Cold feet yet?" Evan asked, wrapping an arm around her. "Never," Maya said without hesitation. "You?" "Never." They sat in comfortable silence, listening to the evening sounds of their neighborhood. A dog barking in the distance, someone's television playing through an open window, the twins' wind chimes moving gently in the breeze. "I have something for you," Maya said, reaching into her pocket. She pulled out a small wrapped box. "It's not my birthday," Evan said, confused. "I know. Just open it." Inside the box was a keychain with 2 small photos, one of Nora and Nia at the playground, and one of all 4 of them at the beach, that perfect Sunday months ago. "For your keys," Maya said. "So you always have us with you." "Maya, I know it's silly." "It's perfect," Evan interrupted. "Absolutely perfect." He clipped the keychain to his house keys, keys to their house, their home, their life, together. "I have something for you too," he said. "It's not my birthday either." "I know." He pulled out a folded piece of paper from his pocket. Maya unfolded it carefully. It was the sketch he'd drawn of their dream house that night, months ago, but now it had additions: a dog house by the back door, a vegetable garden, a larger garage with workshop space. "I've been adding to it," Evan explained. "Every time I think of something that would make our life better, easier, happier." "A workshop?" "For teaching the girls how to build things, and maybe for building cribs, eventually. When we're ready." Maya smiled. "When we're ready. No rush. But someday." "Someday," she agreed. 3 weeks later, Maya walked down a path of flower petals in their backyard, wearing a simple white dress and carrying a bouquet of sunflowers from Lena's garden. Nora and Nia preceded her, scattering more petals and giggling with each step. Evan stood at the end of the path in his best suit, watching his whole world walk toward him. The ceremony was simple. They'd written their own vows, promises to love each other, to support each other, to parent together with patience and humor and endless grace. "I promise," Maya said, her voice steady and clear, "to trust you with my heart and theirs, to build something beautiful with you that will last." "I promise," Evan replied, "to show up every day, in big ways and small ways, for as long as you'll have me, to be worthy of the gift you've given me, this family, this love, this home." When the pastor pronounced them husband and wife, Nora and Nia cheered louder than anyone. "You may kiss the bride," the pastor said with a smile. "Finally," Nia stage whispered, making all the adults laugh. The kiss was soft and sweet and full of promise. The reception was in their backyard, with string lights hung between the trees and tables set up on the grass. Lena had made 3 different kinds of cake, and Aisha had organized a playlist of music that ranged from children's songs to slow dance classics. During the father-daughter dance, Evan danced with both twins at once, one on each foot, while Maya danced with his business partner, Mark. "Are you happy?" Nora asked as they swayed to the music. "The happiest," Evan said honestly. "Good," Nia said matter-of-factly. "Mom deserves to be happy. So do you two." "We are happy," Nora assured him. "We have you now." "You've always had me," Evan said, "from the very first day." As the evening wore on, friends and family shared toasts and told stories. Lena spoke about the day she realized Evan had become the man she'd always hoped he would be. Aisha roasted Maya's terrible cooking skills and praised her excellent judgment in men the second time around. Maya's boss from the restaurant announced that she was promoting Maya to head chef and helping her start the catering business she'd always dreamed of. To new beginnings, he said, raising his glass. To family, Lena added. To love that lasts, Aisha finished. As the sun set and the party began to wind down, Evan and Maya found themselves alone for a moment on their back porch. The twins were inside, showing off their flower girl dresses to anyone who would pay attention. The guests were cleaning up or saying their goodbyes. How does it feel to be Mrs. Ross? Evan asked, pulling Maya into his arms. Like coming home, she said. Good answer. How does it feel to be officially Dad? Like the luckiest man alive. They danced slowly to the music, drifting out from inside, surrounded by the life they'd built together. No regrets? Maya asked. Only one. What's that? That we wasted 5 years being apart. Not wasted, Maya said thoughtfully. Those 5 years gave us Nora and Nia. They taught us what we were fighting for. You're right. I'm always right, Maya teased. I'll remember that. Inside, they could hear Lena reading the twins a bedtime story. Their voices, sleepy and content. Think they'll sleep through the night? Maya asked. Probably not. They're pretty excited. Good thing we don't have anywhere to be tomorrow. Nowhere but here. Maya looked around at their backyard, at the lights strung between trees, at the house full of people they loved, at the swing set where their daughters played every day. I love our life, she said simply. So do I. Even when it's chaotic? Especially then. As their guests began to leave and the evening came to a close, Evan and Maya tucked their daughters into bed in their new house as husband and wife for the first time. Will you still read us stories now that you're married? Nia asked sleepily. Every night, Evan promised. Will we still have Saturday pancakes with Grandma Lena? Nora wanted to know. Every Saturday, Maya assured her. Will you and Mom still love each other even when we're grown up? Nia asked. Especially when you're grown up, Evan said, kissing her forehead. Good, Nora said with a yawn. That's how families work. After the twins fell asleep, Evan and Maya sat on their bed looking through the wedding photos on Maya's camera. Look at that one, Maya said, pointing to a picture of all 4 of them laughing during the cake cutting. We look happy, Evan observed. We are happy. We are. Maya curled up against his side, her wedding dress replaced by comfortable pajamas, her hair down around her shoulders. I have one more present for you, she said quietly. Maya, you've given me enough for one lifetime. This one's different. She reached into her bedside table and pulled out a small, wrapped package. Inside was a photo in a simple silver frame, a picture from that first playground visit months ago, Evan pushing Nia on the swing, while Nora climbed the monkey bars, and Maya watched from the bench. But it wasn't the photo that made his breath catch. It was the calendar beside it, with a date circled in red ink 8 months away. Maya, he said, his voice uncertain. I wanted to wait until after the wedding to tell you, but we're going to need a bigger house sooner than we planned. Evan stared at the calendar, at the date that would change their family forever. Are we? We're having a baby, Maya said softly. Are you happy? Evan set the frame down carefully and pulled her into his arms. Happy doesn't begin to cover it, he said, his voice thick with emotion. Really? Really? How long have you known? 2 weeks. I wanted to be sure before I told you. 2 weeks? How did you keep it secret? It was the hardest thing I've ever done, especially when you were helping me into this dress, and I wanted to tell you right then. Evan laughed, the sound full of joy and amazement. The twins are going to be so excited, he said. They've been asking for a baby brother or sister for months. What do you think it will be? Healthy, Maya said firmly. That's all I care about. Healthy and loved. Loved is guaranteed. They lay together in their new bed in their new house, talking about nurseries and baby names, and how to tell Lena, and whether the twins would want to help pick out cribs. I can't believe this is my life, Evan said as Maya fell asleep in his arms. Believe it, she murmured against his chest. This is our life. This beautiful, messy, perfect life. Outside, the wind chimes the twins had hung on the porch moved gently in the breeze. Inside, their family slept peacefully in the house that love had built. And in 8 months, they'd welcome another little person into their circle of love. A baby who would grow up knowing they were wanted, planned for, and cherished. A baby who would never doubt that their father would be there, every morning and every night, for as long as they needed him. Evan lay awake for a while longer, listening to the sounds of his sleeping family and thinking about the journey that had brought them here, about second chances and the courage it took to trust again, about the way love could heal old wounds and build new foundations, about the way a man could become a father in an instant, with nothing more than a knock on the door and two little girls in yellow raincoats, about the way a house became a home when it was filled with the right people, about the way a family was born not just from blood, but from choice, from showing up, from staying. "Thank you," he whispered into the darkness, to whatever force had brought Maya and the twins back to him. "Thank you for this life, for this love, for this chance to do it right." And somewhere in his dreams that night, he was 5 years old again, building houses out of couch cushions and imagining all the families that might live inside them. Only now, he didn't have to imagine anymore. Now, he was home.